Hello, good morning. So today we're just a little bit late. I had some trouble with the streaming, but here we are and we are doing an infographic. That's some kind of animations you usually do. There's a lot of animations doing with infographics, even for corporate, if you're not doing, even for publishing anywhere else, but even for inside information, just to share with other other employees and all of those people that you want to share those numbers instead of just having a boring PowerPoint. You can work with infographics and make them more fun. So today we're starting with an infographic. Let me just change the screen here. Okay, we don't have our chat, but okay, we have our program here. Our chat is not on. I don't know why. Actually, I will have to see that issue, but if you want to send some messaging, just you can send it through Behance. I'll be looking here. I'll look at Facebook and YouTube. I'll see them here if you're looking at some, having all the streams on. But if you go to Behance, you can send a message. I'll see it here on the iPad. So we have our animation that we're going to do. We're going to recreate this image. This is another image from Freepic, and so we'll create this inside. As you can see, this is already an Adobe Illustrator file, and we could use this as some layering to bring all of this separate. But usually if we bring it separately, one thing we could have done with the layers, for example these gradients, we could have used from bringing them from Illustrator, or just having all of this separated. But we could work it here and we can recreate everything inside here. That will be easy to do. This is simple forms, so it's fine, so that we can recreate them over here. So let's start by just make a composition out of this, and we'll drag there. Okay, we have our composition. I don't know why my mouse is not working. Let me try the other one. Okay, so this one is working better. Okay, if I would have created shapes from this, if I would create shapes from vector layer, the issue would be creating those gradients. If I do this, as you can see here, let me just show you, all of this gets gray because of the shapes. Even if I go here, try to figure out that one shape outside, if I delete that one shape outside, I don't know if it was this one or this one. Actually, I know which one it's the outside one. I have a bunch of them outside. I don't know why we would have so many outside. Actually, I think I'm deleting stuff inside. Yeah, there's a lot of them, so it's 100 contents. This way it won't work. It will be easier just to recreate as we are going to do this in the shapes, and we can make them all inside one. So if we start by just doing the ellipse, I'll start with this ellipse, and we have to think of the graphics for the animation. For example, that stroke there. Now I'll just align this one, and for example this stroke here, as you can see, we have some shadowing over there, and we could recreate this by just this shape layer will be the white one, simple as that, and the other parts will be the same, like multiple shape layer one, and I'll call it this big circle white, and we could do this, and we can just make a copy of this one. Big circle, colors, okay, and we put it behind. And what we'll do is, instead of having some fill, I'll just create some stroke, and the stroke I'll give a color so that we'll pick some green color for you to see. And if we increase into the size of that one, okay, we won't use it like this, we'll use it like outside. We'll have to press in the fill will go up, and we'll put the fill at white. Okay, this is our shape. If we turn off this one, we have our white, and then we have our outside colors. Okay, now for this first one, I didn't press in the fill. I have to turn on the fill. I'll put the fill at white. As you can see here, if now I turn on the second one, you only see the stroke. And if I just give on the layer style some drop shadow, as you see there, drop shadowing, and we'll decrease the opacity like this. And now if I turn on the other one, you can see the drop shadow on top of that one, as you can see there. If we turn down both, let me see the shadowing. The shadowing is just for the side, not so much on the top and bottom. So I'll go to the drop shadow, and the angle I'll put it to more to the side like this. Maybe this size, okay, the size could be that, and the spread a little lower, okay, like this. So it's good. And now we have to make those strokes there with the colors that we want, of the ones there. So I have one stroke, and what I need is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strokes. So I'll just copy this one. I'll copy this one and paste. Be careful not to paste again, or else you'll paste it inside of each stroke. Let me just confirm about the okay, yeah. I was just confirming if we're all on. And okay, so now we have second stroke. I'll put this third. You'll just have to press over there on the ellipse, the fourth and the fifth. Okay, so we'll start by stroke 1. I'll pick that color. Then for the second one, I'll pick the second color over there, purple. Third, I'll pick the blue. Fifth, okay, and 5. It's already green, but it was not that green. Okay, now all we'll have to do is just divide this by the stepping that they are. So we could do this by using the trim path. If we use the trim path, maybe we could use the trim path already, thinking of the animation that we'll do. So if we want to animate this, I don't know, for example, we could animate this by growing the animation over there, the purple. As they grow, they all grow this side, or they could grow with scale, each one. If I'm growing with scale each one, that means that even if this one is on top, the first stroke, and then the others, it will start from there. I'll have to, even for the second one, start here and end there. So that way we have our options about starting that. So one way we could do that, instead of doing like this, I'll turn this on, and we could have done with the dashes. just one dash and say the size of the dash, as you can see here, and the gap, I'll press plus again, and the gap will be a huge gap. This way you only have the size of the dash that you want to put. And for example here, I'll just put the opacity so that I could see the one in the back. As you can see, starts from there. So if I change the opacity, I can go back and just on the stroke 1 find out what is the size of the dash. Okay, if I put here the offset, okay, let's start with the, actually I'll start down here so that way it will be easier to find out. Let me just, as you can see, the opacity on top, the purple is not the best color to do this, but if we, okay, let's put it over the green one here at the bottom. Okay, it starts here and the dash will be, okay, around here. If you see closer, you see the offset, it's starting over there, and the size of the dash will be over there. Okay, so we have a dash with 66. The gap will be a lot so that we have size. Okay, it's fine. And now what we going to do is just copy the dashes and paste here. Paste on each one. Okay, so this way now we have all dashes over there. But the one thing that we have to change is the offset here, so that the first one starts at the top. Let's put the offset over at here. Okay, not this side. Okay, we have some issues over there because it creates inside there the gap. For this one I have to actually change or maybe rotate. Okay, we could easily not use the dashes. Well, let's use the rotation. Actually, for the stroke I cannot do that. Okay, I'll use the dash. I'll start over at the beginning. I'll just rotate the ellipse all the way that this point here, the first point of the gapping, will be over there. So that way we can rotate. Let's transform the ellipse and rotate a little sooner, that it will start over there. As you can see the point over there. So once we go back to the first stroke, if we put the offset at 0, it will start there. Okay, and as you can see here, the gap has to increase a little bigger. Okay, this one is okay. Let's go for the second one. The second one, I'll go for the dash. I'll bring around here. Okay, let me see, I have to increase the dash a little bit. Okay, for the third one, the same. I'll do the dash, offset, I'll bring it up until it's there. And actually I don't see the ending of it. Oh, okay, if I do it like this, fine. Now this one. Okay, the beginning it's there, and the ending will be, yeah, that's right. And the last one, the green offset, will start there. And actually the green was the one that had that size, the 66 size. Okay, if we turn everything on now with the opacity, okay, this is what we have so far. Okay, now you can see the issues with the sizing. For the ones that are not corrected, you can correct this. So, because sometimes when we were looking at that, we didn't see because of the image behind. The first one is okay. The second one, the dash will be okay over there, and it will finish we'll put it on top of that one just a little bit. Third stroke, we'll give it a little more. Actually, I'm not seeing the chat. I don't know if you guys are doing. Okay, so the size of this one I'll increase a little more. Okay, and the orange just a little more also. Okay, so we have our outside. It's looking good, and if we keep creating stuff, okay, then we have our information. We'll leave the text for last. Let's create and recreate this line. And as you can see here, because this is also a shape, but it's only like a line in over there, I could start with a big circle white, make a copy, and I'll call it white line. What I'll do, I'll go to the contents, I'll turn it on. This ellipse won't have fill, but will have a stroke, and the ellipse path, the size, if I just increase the size, because it's already there, okay, you can see it will go and be at that creation will be over there. Okay, it's actually not centered. I don't know who created the graphic. Okay, it's some issues, but it's over there. And we need to, for this one, we'll add a trim path, and just the start will be okay at 0. That's fine, and the end will be over there. Okay, and the stroke, let me check, but the stroke, I think it's too large. Maybe it's around 3 or 2. Let me check. Yeah, it's 2. It's still a little smaller. I'll increase a little bit. Let me check if it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, and now we have to put those little balls over there. We could use that instead of using this ellipse. We could use this shape layer at the same if we want to animate everything together, but then we'll create just a little shape over there with a fill. Inside of this, we'll create a shape like this, not with a stroke, but for this one, not stroke but fill. This way we could increase the line over there. Okay, it's fine. Even the position we could actually, the pixel, it's over there. Okay, it's fine. We'll make a copy of this one to the top. Ellipse path inside this ellipse, the second one, and we'll just put it at the top. As you can see here, if you want to drag it, you can use the shift key to drag it faster, or now if you want to just make it slower, you can use the control key, not the control key, the command key, to move it slower, just to make it at exactly the right point. And now we'll recreate these ones. So this is the let's call it this second ellipse white ball, and this one it's the white line big. Okay, it's the one from outside, and we'll even inside this one we'll keep creating inside this one. We'll just actually we could use the white ball. We'll put a white ball here, but we'll remove one of the paths and call it purple ball, and we'll put the position of this there it is. Okay, we'll put it over there. You can use the command to okay, it's I have to increase the size a little bit. Okay, for this one, the purple ball, it has a stroke outside. This outside stroke will be the one making that size, the bigger size, but the fill will be purple. So fill will be purple. Okay, and we have to put the fill before the stroke set that it has that sizing. As you can see also here, I believe we have this actually not a fill but a gradient fill. So we'll just delete this fill, and on this one, on the purple wall, we'll give a gradient fill. We'll edit the gradient. Okay. Sorry about this. This is not what I wanted. I want to edit the gradient. Okay, here it is, screening. Okay, so at this point, we'll pick that darker color, and we'll pick at this point, we'll pick the lighter color here, like this. Just has a little gradient, and we'll make the gradient. We'll find out where it is. Actually, I don't see it. Where is the gradient fill? If I press this ellipse past this purple, actually don't see the gradient fill over here. Where is it? The points that I need. Why am I not seeing that? There's too much information here already, so we'll turn off everything. Okay, white line, purple ball. Oh, it was turned off, so that's one problem not seeing. Here it is, the gradient. So I'll just use the gradient over here. That side, it's a lighter one. This one is a darker one. Here you can see now it's getting darker over there and lighter at that point. Okay, it's like that. So if we want to put it on top, just drag it to this side. Okay, so it's on top now. As you can see from the bottom one. Now if we put it on top, okay, it's the same over there with the line. Okay, so now the purple ball. Now all we have to do is make copies of this one, and this one is called the, actually that's the one purple. We'll call this one pink. It's not like actually pink, but it's okay. Purple, so the purple one, and now we can just drag that one over here. We'll have to edit the gradient fill. We almost don't see that. Okay, we'll edit the gradient. This, I'll pick the darker one, and this I'll pick a lighter one. Okay, another copy, contents. This will be the blue. Blue wall. Okay, we'll drag that one over here. Same. I'm turning it off just to so that I can select the colors of the gradient. It's not too much of a gradient, but does a little bit and makes a difference. Now this is the, okay, which one did I copy? Copy. I'm moving the number over there. Orange wall. Turn it on so that we could see what it is. Off. Lips gradient fill. Okay, we'll edit the gradient. Pick the lighter color. No, this is darker color, this one. And here it's the lighter color. Okay. Green. Just one more copy. This is all about having some copies of copies, because they're all now corrected. Green wall. Gradient. For the lighter color. Okay. So we have all of them. Actually, the green, it's not in place because it was there. Okay, guys, sorry. I'll have to just come back just in a little bit, so because they're ringing at the door. Sorry about that. We had some packaging arriving, so I'm sorry. So we're back on this green ball over there. It's okay. We have to get all of these ones over the white line. Okay, so now we have all of them. If we turn it off, we have all of those lines already created. It's fine. And okay, so for the rest, now we could use another shape for that. We won't use, oh, actually we could create also these lines inside. Now, if you see here, you see that the line over there, and you have some shadowing over here. So that means that this line, because we are using the layer styles to make the drop shadow, that means that these lines are not inside of that one. Okay, we'll create that shadowing, that line inside of the circle, so that that shadow from the white line goes on top of that one. So okay, we'll create another shape layer outside that one. We'll start by creating this. Around this size. Okay, this is the ellipse. I'll press the fill. Fill is white. And also I'll have inside these contents, I will have this line from here to there. I'll put it at the middle and I'll explain why. Because if I want to animate something growing from the center over there, I could get the line to animate from the middle of this one to the middle of that one and growing from there. So we're thinking of the animations just start growing from that point. And this will be, I have the shape, I'll call it line. And this one doesn't have fill, but it has a stroke. The stroke is not that. Okay, it's around here. And if we put the white line on top of this shape layer, you already going to see the drop shadowing that we were talking about. Okay, so it's fine like this. And inside this new shape layer on the contents, what you need to do is this line should be not on top of this ellipse, because if we put the ellipse with another color, you'll see what's happening. See, so the line should be not here but below the ellipse. Okay, so because we already created like that, we could use this to make all those shapes. What we'll do is we'll group these two group shapes. Okay, and we'll leave it at group 1 and just make copies of this one. Group 2, what we could have done here to change the groups, we could transform the group to the anchor point be there. If we put the anchor point at that middle, let's say we put the anchor point at the middle on this group, we'll put the anchor point using the anchor point, we'll put it here. If you put the anchor point there, once we rotate, you can see what it's doing. Okay, maybe it's not actually correct, but we already have like that. But so what we could use is, let's turn on this white one, and that way we could actually see the middle. I don't know if we actually can, but if we could snap this, because we can't snap this. The only issue is you cannot snap that to the middle of that one. It'll be easier to just to watch, but you cannot snap it there. So okay, if we put it like this, you can see that the anchor point is not at where it's supposed to be, but it's fine just to make the rotation, just to make the line parallel. Or I could just change, so instead of just moving that anchor point, I can just move the group, okay, like this. It's fine. I'll just correct the line here, the path. Just grab that one and put it at the middle of there. Okay. Third group. Over here. And that line over to that point. Actually, we could see that it's not exactly at the middle. Third group line. Over there. Okay. It's not as center as it should be. And the good thing, because we were doubling that, is already we're going to create that shadow over there. So I have my path over here. As you can see, this one also have a shadow, a drop shadow on top of that one. So now if we give the layer style some drop shadow, or we can just copy the drop shadow from the other one, it's already good. Okay, it's there. So let's turn everything on. Okay, we already recreated this. We'll still have to work with the text, but we could work with the text by just grabbing those to the layers respectful, not respectful, to respectfully to that layer. Okay, it's good like this. And let's turn this on. We don't have to do the last one. Those shapes around here, these are like rectangles with rounded corners, and around something around here. Okay, and actually the roundness will be bigger. Okay, maybe this is a little over there. Let's move it a little to the side. Okay, it's fine like this. And this will be, this rectangle will have not a fill, but a gradient fill. We'll edit the gradient, but before we edit the gradient, we have to turn it off so that I can see the colors. Okay, purple, and then this side darker one to grab that. Actually, this is not the lighter one. Okay. Okay, and let's fix the gradient. Where is the gradient? Where is the lines of the gradient? Okay, we have to turn it on again. Exactly. Gradient fill, and where is the line? I don't see the line. Shape layer, gradient fill. Why am I not seeing the gradient line? Let's change it to. Okay, I'm not seeing the point. We're not seeing the point. Stroke, rectangle, gradient fill, start point. Is it on top on something, or is it outside? I don't know where it is. Okay, let's try it this way. Radial. Actually, don't see it. Still don't see where I can change. Did I turn off something? No. Okay. Well, I don't see it. It's starting at 0 and ending at 100. Let's put the end over there, and the starting point, we'll put it over there. Okay, I can see a little bit if we turn on and off. Actually, I think it's the other way around. Yeah, let me just edit the gradient, and this one goes to this side and that one goes to that side. Okay, gradient fill. Okay, so inside there, we'll put this under the shape layer 1. The shape layer 1 will be the group white balls. Okay, and this one will be squares, rounded squares, Okay, so now we can see that it has the drop shadowing already. We can copy the drop shadow of this one also, because we'll have drop shadowing over there as we do the, for example, now we could just recreate that background. I'll use a new solid. I'll create a gray background, and we put a 3D. We'll put some lighting, and actually we could have done not like this. We'll use not 3D, but we'll use a gradient ramp or layer styles. For example, we could use a gradient overlay. We'll edit the gradient. If we could see it. Why am I not seeing the gradients again? Okay, because we don't see it. We'll remove this layer style. We'll bring an effect that it's gradient. It's a gradient ramp on this top solid, and this way we could put here this one at the middle, this one over there, radial, swap colors. It's too dark and too, okay, let's put gray. Actually, we could turn this off and we'll pick this gray over here. We'll pick that gray over there. Okay, if we turn it on, actually the distance is not as big. Okay, this is it. Okay, so we have our gradient over here. It's almost done, the image. We have to remake those other squares, the rounded squares. This is rectangle 1. Actually, why is it the gradient fill outside? I'll just put it inside the rectangle and make some bunch of copies, 5 of them. The second one is over here. Now let's go closer. As you can see, it actually has a stroke outside. We'll have to work with that because we have a little stroke in there. I don't know if it's a stroke. Actually, it doesn't look like a stroke. It's just at the end, making that kind of a button over there. We'll think out how we're going to do that. Where is this one? Okay, it's over here. Okay, so now we have to fix the colors. gradient, edit gradient. This one we'll pick that color over there. Okay. The 4. Okay. Third one, the bluish one here, edit gradient. See this kind of gradient just at the end, like it was just a light over there. So many ways we can replicate this, but if we put it like this, maybe it's too big. It's fine. Okay. Okay, so now if we turn this on, this is our graphic, almost recreated. We only need to recreate now the texting. If we turn everything off, and those icons, we also need to bring them inside here. Let me just check. I'm wondering why the chat is not working. Let me just check one thing really quick. Next full screen. Why is it not changing? Okay. Destination titles. Actually, this is, I don't know if I change this will be again. I forgot to do this. It was ready on time. Infographic. Okay, save titles and destinations. Okay. And where's the chat? Multi-chat copy. I'll just copy this to my over here and chat on screen. Sorry guys about that. I know you're not watching now. It's the same. Why is it not on? Okay, so chat. Nope. Chat. Supposedly it's on, but it's not coming on. I don't know why. Maybe it's not connected. Let me just check again. Supposedly it's connected, and we have people over here. One is a Twitch, okay. I don't actually see the chat, anything coming from there. So, okay, that's fine. We'll keep going, and not a lot of people just watching. And okay, so coming back to this, let's recreate the texts. Also have this colorful line here, and I've been sitting for too long. I don't know what that means, but so okay, so let's say we'll start by using these ones. Actually, let's start here. Okay, text. We'll have infographic. Pick the gray infographic over here. It's pretty much the same font. That's fine. We'll use it like that. If we want to use, for example, the same object here, we'll create another one. We'll create a copy, and this one will be steps. Okay. Steps will be bigger. Okay. Okay. And for that small line over there, what I can do is, instead of once you create like this, you could create a box. If you click and drag, this will be a box. You have to decrease the font by a lot, and we could have stuff written like this. Okay, it is too much. And if you change the font now, you can see everything is written over there. Okay, we'll just drag that up. It's not too readable over there, but if you do this, you're increasing. If you want to increase the text, the box text, you just have to click it again. Oh, I have some enter over there. Why do I have some issues over there? Okay, I'll drag this a little lower. Okay, some more text. Okay, it's fine. Let me check if I turn this on. Yeah, it's about right. That example text over there, it's too small to read. We should have worked with that, because this composition is also composition settings. It's too low of a size. Let's say we want to increase the composition. We have to increase all of this. One thing we could have done is, instead of increasing this composition, because even for the text, let's say, okay, I'll turn everything on. Okay, now I have my text. It's not too readable because the image is too small. But if we create it, the good thing of creating this inside After Effects, now we'll create, for example, let's say in HD like this, okay, and we'll put this composition, the one that's already made, here, and we'll just right click and we'll go to transform, fit to comp. Okay, if we fit to comp, it's not actually the size of it, it's changing this, so I want to increase it like this. You can see the background. If you want to increase the background, you could have just changed the inside of this one. Let's say composition settings. We'll give the width a little more, okay, and this background, I'll just increase it to that side. That way, once we go back to our composition here, it's straight and it's okay. One thing you could see now, the texting is not reading well, but if we put the rasterize, see, because this is all created inside After Effects, the lines and everything is perfect. You don't have any blur lines. It's perfect because it's all created inside this composition. Even if this composition is smaller, that's fine, because once you rasterize, continuously rasterize, you can see here that it will increase and the quality will be perfect. Okay, so we'll go back to our recreation over here, and if we turn everything on except the text, okay, for that one is fine. Let's do these ones. All these three, we will grab them to the big white circle. Okay, so that way, if we scale it down, let's say we put it like this, if we scale this down, you see the text is connected to there. Actually, let me change already here the anchor point. We'll put it at the middle. This way it could scale from this way. Okay, so new text I'll use for these ones. Step we'll pick the purple and we'll increase the font. actually this is like a boldish one. I'll use the false bold, it's fine. Okay, for this, even if you want this, let's say we want to put that inside the same text like this. If you select just the 01, you could have different font sizes inside the same text layer. Okay, so you don't have to create step and then 01. So we could have done that, but this is another way to do it. And here for the auto, this is the distance, because I want to put a little distance like this. Okay, step 1, it's fine like that. The actual font is not actually the same, but it's okay. Now we can copy this and put it over there and pick up that color. Okay, this one is step on here, you have to select step 2. Be careful to put the text once you're copying, just to make it that they fit exactly the same. You can change the paragraph to centered, so that way it will be centered once you put it over there. Okay, step 3. Pick that color up. It's another one. Step 4. I'll drag a little bit just to get the color. Okay. Of course, if you already had this created outside, we could bring that even for the rasterize, continuously rasterize. You don't have an issue if you're bringing from Illustrator. If you already have this all created in Illustrator, even with the text, everything on layers separated, we could have bring this from there. You just have to create those layers inside Adobe Illustrator. So now we'll just copy that one. But as you can see here, you can recreate everything inside After Effects, even for the drawing and everything. So step 5. Okay, so we already have this image almost recreated by everything. Okay, steps, we already have our steps, and let's recreate those titles for these steps, because these ones are I want to grab them to the group white balls. Okay, so that way if I move this one and I move all the steps, and you can see here I have all the steps. Let me turn that off. If I move this group white balls, it's all together now. Okay, so let's start by the titles. Here we still have the titles. Okay, let's create text. Your title. We could do this for the also there, but because that one it's a box, doesn't make too much sense of being over there. I'll just squeeze that into the size. Okay, because I squeezed that, you see that the font didn't change, so be careful with that. If you're working with fonts and you want to exactly know the font size, don't squeeze the title there, because you won't see the changing of the font. Okay, so and for that text, I'll just create a box of text with the font size 4, and okay, so I have some issues here, and let's say put it at 6, 6, 0, and the line auto. Okay, and the paragraph, actually this one will be over there. I could even use justify. See, I could have used justify for the text to be that square, but actually I don't want to do that. I want to put over there. Okay, this, both of this text here, so we'll just create copies of these ones. Okay, once you're selecting to make the copy for the same order, I'll select this and select this one after, copy and paste, 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 paste. Okay, so this way I'll have the 5 over here, over there. The 4 and that one over there. Okay, so I'm gonna set the place, and that one over here. Okay, these two over here. Okay. Okay, so I know I'm saying okay too many times. We're done with that. Only missing it's the icons. We could work with the icons, just grabbing some icons from, let's put here, and we'll go to flat icon and we'll find those icons over there. So this will be lamp, with exclamation. Let's do exclamation. I don't want that. Okay, we have some, actually we could, let's go back to the lamp. We could use just a regular lamp. I don't know, about around this. Yeah, this one is fine. And now we have how do we call that? Wheel, cog wheel. Okay. This one. We also have a target. Okay, this one. And dollar. It's a dollar inside, so yeah, this is the one. And graph. Nope. Back. Graph. It's the one with similar to this one. Okay, no, it's this one. Okay. Okay. We have our icons. We'll grab our icons over here. Okay. Cancel. We'll put. Wow, they're big. Because they're pretty much the same size. What I'm going to do, I'll make a copy and put it over here. With that one selected, I'll go to the actually called wheel. This one selected. With the Alt key, you can change, and it will stay the same size. Okay, the idea. Actually, this one I have to increase. I'll leave it that one, even if it's not the same, that's fine. Now I'll copy the target one, and this is the dollar, and I'll just copy another one over here, and this is the graph line chart. Okay, we're good. And what we need to do, just go over them because these are icons and will work. Layer styles, color overlay, expand, pick the white color. That's done. Okay. And what we'll do is all of these from the titles and this, all of them, we're going to, actually it's from this one up until there, all of these ones, I'll just connect them to the rounded squares, so that this way once we move the round squares, everything is together. Okay, so we have everything recreated. I think I only missed the line, the white line over there separated. Oh, and the colors. Actually, I'm looking at that. Let me just remove everything. As you can see, we already have so many layers. If you double click on here, we already have so many layers to animate. But we could do this by groups, or we could have get inside everything by groups. And let me just create this white line. Here, this is just content shape, not gradient fill. I need a stroke, and the stroke width, that's about 1. Yeah, that's 1. Okay, this one actually we could just copy and make that line over here. Actually, instead of having that, because I want to, I'll copy the shape layer. The reason for that is because I want to put it between the titles, so that way I know which one is for each that group. And I'll copy this, I'll put it here, I'll put it between the titles over there. Have some mosquito over here. Copy, paste between those titles, bring it down, copy paste between the titles over here. Also, the icons I'll do the same. So the target, actually we'll start by the idea. It's the first one after the shape layer. The cogwheel, it's the second after the second shape layer. Line chart is the last one, so after that. Dollar is the fourth, so after the shape layer fourth. And the line chart, no, and the target, it's at the third one, shape layer 3. Okay, so now we have all of this created by groups, and we can group all of that. The only thing missing, I believe it's this here. So how can we create this already? Inside the one, actually, and this will be just a line next to the steps, infographic steps. Oh, let me organize this. Okay, big circle white, this will be the text over there, and this will text over here also. The steps will be after the group white balls, and this white line will be before, like this. Okay, now we have to look up to those shadows. Okay, so actually the white line has to be on top of those groups. So the group white balls, like this. Okay, yeah, the line has to be on top because of the shadowing. It's fine. And the rounded, it's on the bottom of those group white balls, so it's on the bottom. So what we can do is just grab all of those titles and put it behind and after the round squares. Okay, now after we have our ball with the steps. Okay, so white line is the last one. Everything is organized, and we have only to recreate. Remove this circle and that one and the background, just so that I can create these ones over here. So I don't have anything selected. Let me just create from here to here. And here for this one, I'll create just copies. Shape 3, shape 4, and shape 5. Shape 5 will be over there. You can use the shift to drag, and shape 3 will be over here. Okay, so for the colors now, we need to change this. We'll put a stroke, and the stroke will be turned off, and the stroke will be that color. Then this one, it's the stroke, it will be this color. Stroke, shape 3 not gradient, stroke, and stroke will be the blue. And the fourth, stroke, okay. The fifth, not gradient, stroke, and the stroke green. Okay, if we turn it on, what we see is all the strokes are too wide. Let me, how much this is. This is around, this is 1. Yeah, maybe 2. Yeah, 2 will work. Copy stroke over there. Okay, if we turn that off or turn this on, what we'll see is this issue here with the strokes. So we'll grab that, grab the shape, so the point of the stroke has to come closer, like that. I don't want to increase that too much, so I'll just grab the before one. Okay, and for the green, that's fine like this. Okay, this color lines, and I'll put it after the text here, the steps infographic color lines. Okay, so this way I know where it is, and I'll create for all of this, I already going to be doing some trim path. Okay, not here, but outside I want to trim all of them at the same time. Like that. Okay. Or actually we could make a group. No, I don't want to make a group. I want to make trim of everything. So let me check like this. No. If I wanted to make this as one line, I couldn't have all of these lines separated. Well, actually in this case I have to put each one inside so that we can work separately each step of the way. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so everything is created. We have to animate this. The animation that I'm going to be used, because recreation we took so much time recreating everything, we're going to animate this simple thing about creating. And because we have this line outside, we could have worked with animating. Let's start by put everything on. And we can animate. Let me just remove everything. If we put it like this, so this is everything created. We can remove the background now, and we have our image recreated. So let's start by animating the big white circle. Okay, so the big white circle, we can scale it down. For example, let's say we'll put it over here. How many seconds is this composition? So this composition has 5 seconds. That's fine. And we'll create another keyframe over here. This is going to be the sky. The size, we'll put it at 0. For this one, we want to work with the lines and everything. So I want to use all of this smoothing of scaling, the curving. Maybe we want to use a little more intense here. Okay, this animation is nice. One thing is not happening. The steps you see here, the color lines are not grabbed, are not to that one, the big white circle. Okay, we can have the text outside, or we could typewrite the text. For example, let's typewrite the text here. All of these text I'll just typewrite with the effect. Let's go here and grab the preset typewriter, Anim18. If we do like this, and we just drag to here and drag to steps and drag to infographic. Okay, so if we grab all of these 3, press U key, now you have your animation for the typewriter. As you can see, it's taking too long. It's at this point. You can grab all of them and put it like this. We'll just put the infographics, the steps first, the infographics second, and the full text over at the bottom. So this way it will come up, and actually the infographic is first, then the steps. Now you have an animation like that. And for the lines, I won't have. Yeah, I could have done this in one line, but I'll grab all of them. I want to grab each one of these. I'll just increase that, trim, 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 trim. As you can see here, what I'll do is I'll start from here. I'll start at 0 and I'll end up there. Actually, I'm going to remove all of these ones, and I'll do, even if they're doing all the trim at the same, but I'll use just one. And we'll give it start and we'll give it end here like this. So if we go back, we have all of them doing like that at the same text. Okay, it's fine. Okay, so after this is done, after the big circle is done, we'll start by animating the first shape outside. So if we go back, the ones that we need, it's the big circle colors, and we have all of these strokes outside. So the way we done this, we're going to use the trim for that first one. Actually, where it is, I'll put it inside the stroke. Oh, after this stroke here, as you can see here, now I'm doing all of them, because this is just one straight line. If I want to put inside, because I only have one ellipse path, the trim path doesn't work as for each stroke. It's working on everything. So what we could do here, for example, is work with just stopping there. Then it will increase more for the second one. Okay, so for the percentage, to make sure that it's actually at the end, you could, with the command, you see, okay, it's set over there. So this is the last, and the beginning, it's over here. Okay, so we'll animate like this. Let's create some curves. Let's put it like that. We'll increase the curve, the S curve. Okay. So if we do our first, the thing that we have to remember is, once we're going to do the second ones, we need to create another keyframe over here, so that way in the graphic it will be stopped from here, and then we'll create the animation for the second curve. Okay, so at the point that we are watching this, once it starts there, I want to also at the same time start the white curve. So we'll go to the white curve steps. Okay, white curve is the white line is at the very top. So for the white ball, I have 2 ellipses. Okay, now if you have 2, actually I'm going to make a copy, white ball 2, and on this one I'll delete the second, and on this I'll delete the first. That's fine. This one is the top one, and this one is the bottom one, because the thing is, I want to bring this one up first, then animate the white line. So okay, for this the top one, I'll put it over afterwards. For the top one, the white ball, it's the first thing to appear. So at this point I'll just use scale. I'll bring it up a little bit, and from here 0. So it will scale. Oh, we have some issues here with the anchor point. Okay, so the anchor point of this white ball, it's over there at the bottom. Where is it? I don't even see it. I don't know why. Why am I not seeing the anchor point? Even if I grab the anchor point, it should be there, but it's somewhere around here. So okay, it's about the position. Where is the position of it? Okay, I lost the ellipse ball, white ball. Maybe, oh, we have position with this. Okay, this is the issue. Okay, so we'll put it here, the position. We'll put it there. And we'll drag the position over here. Yeah. This way the scale will work. Okay, let's use the command just to put it inside the line. Okay, let me see. If we scale down, yeah, exactly. So the issue was because I had the position of here, the path, so it wasn't centered. Okay, this is my scaling. So as it creates, it will scale up. And actually we want to scale this already over here, because we want the line as the purple grows. So we'll scale that up over there, and as the purple starts, also that white line will start also. Inside this white line we'll use a trim path, the animation here. As you can see, the it's not the 50, and we'll have it over there. That's the last keyframe, and over here will be the first, and maybe a little, okay, like this, and we'll scale it down. And then at this point, actually here where it finishes, that one, I want that ball to be finished also. So the pink ball, we're going to have some issues with the scaling here also. So the position, fix that, and then fix the position here. Where is it? No, I don't see it. Okay, where's the ball? Over there. What is that? I don't know what that has. We have some line over there. Okay, this is going to be, I'll probably have to scale down, or just maybe work with other things. The thing that actually we are watching there, let me just turn that off, the ellipse. Okay, so the stroke for the white line, this last one, have to use command just to, okay, put it over there to finish at the right point. Okay, so we'll finish there, and for that first ellipse, once it's done with the purple here, let me turn that on. Scaling will be done, and it will start here. So we have, okay, come on, After Effects, let me just, okay, you see, it will increase there, okay. From this point on, now we're going to create each of that stepping. Okay, here, once it starts, we want to also start this line. So that line is inside of the white, where was it? The group white balls. The first group, the line, okay, here, we'll do a trim path. So this will be the end around there, and the start will be around here. Oh, actually, it's because it's created the other way around. We won't be using the end, we'll be using the start. This way, okay. So we'll animate like that. At that point, at this point, we'll scale. At this point, we scale. Ooh, we're going to have some issues. Oh no, here. We have our ellipse here, and we'll scale this down from that point over there and scale it down from here. Okay. Make sure that the this is scaled to 0. Okay, once the line hits, it will scale up, and we'll do the same for the step. Scale. Actually, we'll use at the same size. Be careful with the anchor point. The anchor point is not at the center of that for the text. Okay. Even here you can see that the anchor point should have been there. Actually, I need to change it. Over here. No, I'm moving this. Well, I already created that, so that's fine. Okay, this is too fast to see that it's not centered. Okay, so our animation, it's like this. Okay, and once it's done here, we can create that one. So we'll go to the title one here, rounded squares. We expand this rectangle 1. For this rectangle, we can work with the, let's say, if we work with the size. Let me just check how the animation goes. Yeah, we can work with the size, but the anchor point at this one of the size, we'll have to grab the anchor point here and put it at the beginning. This way it will scale. No, it won't scale from that because the anchor point, it's not there. And if we use the transform, the thing is, it's going to squeeze that roundness. I don't want to squeeze that roundness. So maybe we could, let me check. Maybe we could stroke this. Actually, no, not animate the stroke. Let me check with the no, animating gradient also doesn't work. We'll work with the size here. Actually, we could work with both. For example, if you work with both, what you'll do, if you want to work and make it look like it's scaling from that point, just have to go to 0, and this will scale like this, but also you'll give the position here, the animation, and I'll put the position at the first point over there. So that way it will scale from there. See? Actually, the position, as you can see, it's at number 1. where it starts, so it won't be here, but it will be here, so that we don't have any movement. Just scale it like that. See? Okay, so this works. And at this point we'll scale that light bulb. We scale, as you can see here, at this point we'll scale the idea. This is the finished scaled, and here will be at 0. And we'll have our text. Actually, let's try this. We'll grab all of these layers and the track matte, we'll track matte to the idea. Actually, it doesn't work like this because you only have one. Track matte to idea. I will have to have some copies. Yeah. If we put it on top. Yep. Actually, the idea should have track matte this. No. What is happening? Where's my idea? Okay, so here's the idea. I want to... Let's work just with opacity. It will be simpler. Okay. Yeah. This is good. Work with opacity. Okay. So we have our first animation. And from here, we'll have to animate each step of the way. So this will give you time to read what you need to read. We'll give some time. Okay, you could read that, and from here on, now we'll animate the other ones. So this is jumping. One thing we could work after this is working the curves. I'll work the curves after everything. So I'll just give it some time. So let's say this finishes at 1. We'll give it at 2. We'll start the second one. Animating the second one. So go back to the white line. You press the U key. Now we have our trim, the scale and end. Remember, you have to copy the last one, okay, so that we can make an animation from here to the next one. Okay, so you have to then turn that off. Let me turn that off. Actually, it was here. We turn the purple ball off just to make sure that that frame, not the frame, but that line will fit exactly there. Actually, because we have the purple coming up, it's not an issue, but that's fine. Now for the purple ball, turn it on. We'll go for the scaling. Okay, so this will be the scaling down. We have the same issue. It will scale from, remember, the position. So that's an issue. Now it's going to be an issue in each one. And that's fine. We'll just change it from that. Where is that bowl? Okay, so it's over at that point. This animation is taking a little while, just because we had to recreate everything, so that's fine. So the scale will be around there. Once it hits, it scales. Once it starts scaling, we'll do that line. So that one is on shape, on the white. Where are they? Okay, color lines. No. Group white balls. Here it is. So for the second group, we have the line, trim path. This is the remember, it's not the end, it's the start. Okay, it starts there, and from here you will scale the ellipse. Okay, at the same time we'll scale the step 2, scale, at the same time put it at 0. Okay, be careful with the anchor point to put it at exactly the middle. Scale from 0. Okay. And now, as it finishes, we'll go to the round squares again. Actually, we could have done, before copying everything, one thing you could do is, as you're creating this, if you do the animation, we already have the copied animation. So let's say we press U key here, we have this animation, we'll copy, and you could copy that to this one. Okay. You can copy keyframes, it will be easier. So like this, the opacity comes after that one. Also, you can copy from one to the others. So title, this one and this one. It's the opacity. We'll grab the opacity from this one and we'll put it on the second title and shapes and everything. So where is it? Here, from here. We'll go opacity, paste. Okay, and for the idea also, we'll grab the idea, press the scale, copy, and the idea comes actually in the beginning of the opacity also. So we'll cogwheel, paste. Okay. Right. Oh, I forgot about that. Once it starts here, before it starts here, also this outside line. So we go back to the big circle colors, and on this trim path, you just need to copy this keyframe, the one that it stopped. Actually, we'll bring it down here, and then once it stopped at the second one, it's over here. We also give a little more with the command until the purple finishes. I have to zoom on this. Okay, right about here. If we look at the graphic, remember that we had this curve. Now you can see that you still need to make that curve again. Also, this point, that point over there, you can just squeeze and make the S curve. So you have S curve each time that it will grow, but we'll work on that later. Okay. So our animation is already getting there. I saw something over there. Okay. It's good. We just need to recreate for each one. It takes a little more time, but now you only have to copy keyframes for all of this. So as you can see here, is starting to see the how many layers. One thing you can do is, because the layers start afterwards and everything, just not to have them here present if they're not animating from the start. Let's say this one, the first one is starting. Okay, so the graphics only start from here. So this, all of these, you can cut that first part. So this way you can know where it starts. Okay, the text also, this one only starts from here. Also the shapes, the color lines only starts from here. You can see the keyframes. You can start it. You can put the beginning at the beginning of the keyframe. That way you know it's only starting that point over there. Okay. You can organize this so that you don't have that many. For example, this round only starts from here. That's the first one. So I only need it to be visible from there. Okay. And let's say your title, same. If you press all of these, it will start only from there. Be careful with the, maybe you should do some zoom just to make sure that it starts at the correct point. Okay. Sorry. So we're increasing our animation. This is one way of looking at stuff and having everything coming on. Then the second one, and we'll just have to replicate this for the third one. Okay, another second. As you can see, we don't have composition time, but we'll work on that. Let's give it a second after it's done. Okay, 3:21, 4:21. Okay. So now this video is taking a little longer, but okay. Going back to the white lines, we have the purple. We're going to have issues with all of those positionings. So this is one way of learning. Also, just to see where it is. Okay, it's somewhere around there, and go up. And let's put it over there. Okay, it's exactly at the line. We'll use the scale. At this point, actually this one should be further, because we want to not to start with that one. We want to start with the line. At this point, at the 4:21, we want to start with animation in the line over there. So the white line will go to the trim. You have to copy that keyframe to the start, and the one finishing over there. Okay. So this way it will scale up, and the other line from the group white balls, third group line, it's a trim path over here. Start at the last keyframe, start like that. Once it's done, we'll scale the ellipse. Damn it. Contents 3, ellipse, scale. Okay, at the same point we'll scale this step 3. Before that, let me just put this on the middle. Okay, scale. Put it at the same time as the other one. Sorry. Okay. At this point we'll copy, we'll go to the round squares. Where are the round squares? Round squares, round squares. We'll just go to, okay, we'll copy this and this, copy. Third rectangle over here, paste. After this, we'll do the opacity of those 3. The opacity of the 3, it's all of these. T for opacity here. Actually, we bring those later. As you can see, we're already running out of time for our composition. Okay, what we'll do, composition settings, we'll give it 15 seconds, will be enough for this. And now we have to increase all of this. Okay, so because this, we increased our composition. If you press U key, okay, you can grab all of them just at the end. Grab, if it happens to you, just at the end, grab it to all the way through the end, so that you know that you have everything up until the end. Okay, so we were at 3. Okay, this is over here. Where were our title 3? It's opacity. And here will be at 0. Okay, and also for the scaling of that target. Scaling. Increase the zoom a little bit. And here for 0. Okay. Alright. So once it's done, we'll give it one more second. So it's done at 5:23 and we'll put it at 6:23 to increase all of those. White line. Here, copy the last keyframe and move a little bit. Let's make it bigger so that I can see the animation. And with that, I'll copy to the step 4. Actually, I'm going to do, no, let's take a step in each. This is the orange. Again, with the same issue with the position. Okay, we just have to bring it up a little bit. It's over there. See that the white line is not at the same spot, so let's grab here. Okay. And For the orange ball here, the position will be there, and we'll use scale. Okay, so once it's finished, it scales. As this one is growing, we'll put again that line. I know it's boring, this part, but it's what we need to do to animate each step. So the group white balls over here, contents, group 4, ellipse will scale. No, actually the line will come first with the trimming. Trim, start over there as it's scaling. Okay, from here on. Okay, once it's finished, the ellipse will scale. Okay, at the same point, we'll grab the step 4, anchor point to the middle, scale. Here, this is the last keyframe, and the first will be at 0. Okay, once it's done, we'll start with animation the round squares. And we'll go to the round squares over at... You see how important is the naming of everything, because if you don't have names, this will be such an awful time. Okay, copy from the third one and paste it on the fourth one. Okay, and at this point, we'll do the opacity for all of these 3. Oh, we already had some opacity. Okay, so we had some opacity because, oh, this is the one, sorry. Z, actually, for the rectangle path, paste. Okay, I'm going to the 4th, title 4, opacity, open a 3, drag it to the side, put it at 0. Okay, and also at this point, the scaling of the dollar is something around here. Okay. Okay, it ends at 8999. We'll start the last one, finally. Okay, for the final one, we'll go to the white line again. We'll go through here the trim, copy again that keyframe, give it again the other last one. Okay, and let's look at where the green ball is. We'll remove the position, some issues here. Okay, we'll transform, we'll bring it up and a little to the side. There it is, exactly at the line over there. So, scale over there at 0. Once it hits, it scales. Once it's scaling, we'll go to the line of those group white balls. The last group, the 5th line, we'll give a trim. Start. We'll drag this to the over there, and we'll start from there. Okay. And now the scaling of the ellipse. Scale. Okay, at the same time, the text, the step 5, 0. Okay, once it's done, we'll go to the round squares. Round squares, the same. Oh, we'll go to this. Copy to the 5th. Size position. Okay. At the end, we'll work with this opacity, the 5th titles. Opacity on all of these 3. Drag a little bit. Put it at 0. Okay. At the same time, this one scales from here, almost at the same time, 0. Okay. I believe we got our animation done, finally, as you can see here. And for infographic, let me fit this and bring a little more. Actually, I forgot about those second lines. See here, once it starts, it's about here, the round circle. Remember that one, the big colors. We'll expand this, contents, ellipse, the trim. Okay, so copy the last keyframe. Now move a little bit. Okay, not that much. And with this up until the orange. Okay, now we copy this keyframe. Once it starts over here, we paste over here. We'll finish this one. Okay, and the 5th starts from here. So same keyframe, and we'll finish. Okay. So our animation is all done. Actually, there's one last point there. As you can see, it was already there. So we have to finish. Once it's finished, here actually I want to finish at the same time because I want to just finish that, and that scaling, that white line. I'll use the trim, white line big, keyframing, same, and finishes over there, not at there, but at 50%. And that white ball, the second white ball, remember this one, I'll just use the scale to finish down. Okay, that one is done also. Okay, so this way we're now, as it's doing the last step, so we have our animation done. Let me just render all of this out like this, so that we play from the beginning till the end. Now this one took a little longer. Sometimes we have these issues, but okay. Last very thing, it's all done. The only thing that we could do now is just to press U key. Let's go here, press U key. Oh, press anything, U key. Okay. If we press the U key now, we're seeing all the keyframes, all the parameters, if we don't have anything selected. So let's go to graph. Okay. One thing it will be helpful like this, you can just press on the easy ease. If we press, even select all of these, you cannot select all of them like I was hoping, but you could have some plugins. There's a really cool plugin having some S curves. It's flow something. I don't actually remember which what is the name of that. Let me check. If you go to a scripts flow, well, actually it's flow, it's just the name. It's $30. The good thing with this is you already have curves and some exponential ones, faster ones and everything, and this will create just a window like that. One thing is you select this, press the window, the curves, that way it will be faster. You see, this one is just regular easy ease, but I'll just select on all of these and press it like that. So I'll select this, easy ease. Actually, be careful with the ones I'm selecting. This one is scaled down. So if we select all of these and select easy ease, okay, be careful to see if the line doesn't change. Okay, you could like zoom in on each, but then you'll have to each one every time you'll need to use that zoom. Okay. I like the S curve, so it won't be as fast. Okay, I'm doing through all of them. Maybe it was, I could have selected all, but this way I know I'm just selecting the ones that I want, making an S curve. Okay. Making S curves. See how many keyframes, how many animations we did. This seems like not too much work. It's I'm over 2 hours already, but maybe if you ask a company to do this, they will charge you at 10 days or something. It's not like it's easy to do, because it's not easy at this point. Making it easier like this. Just go through all the curves. I don't even see them because I know I'm selecting with both clicks. So let's go through them. It's taking forever to finish the curves. Okay, we're almost at the end. Check them for if everything is fine. Okay, we already had this curve changed. Yeah, the one's more aggressive. Okay, so we're all done. Let's see. Okay, so let's say we want to just finish this in another way, that we could scale down everything from that white circle. Okay, so we have all of these animations. Actually, let me just clear with the U key. I didn't do the beginning for that. If I press the U key, now I can see the beginning of each frame where it starts. I could work with that. I'm not doing that. What I'll be doing now, let's say that we want to squeeze all of that inside the white ball. Okay, so what we could do, you see that we already have some connections to the parenting. So because I don't want to change any of that, and we'll say infographical lines, this will be all connected to the big circle. So from the rounded squares up, we can put all of this and pre-compose this. Okay, if we pre-compose this, okay, you still have your animation as well. It's the same thing, you don't have any changes whatsoever. But now we could grab this to the big white circle, and even the colors to the white circle. That way, if we scale this down, see, it will scale down like that. And actually, what I want to do is, I want to this one not to the big white circle, but with the colors, because that way we can scale this down first. Let's put the anchor point at the same over there. If we scale it down, see, it will scale down from here. And this is what I want to do to finish the animation. After reading, I'll grab all of this one and bring it to the back of the big white circle. And at the end, after I'm done reading everything, let's say at 14, we'll scale and scale inside. It will scale. It will be behind that one. We'll use an actual curve for this. Okay, this one will be more aggressive. And I'll do one thing that is fun. That is, I'll make it bigger first. I'll go bigger a little like that and squeeze this curve a lot so that it will jump a little bit. It will make that squeezing like that. Okay, and we'll make it faster because it's taking too long, and we'll make the squeeze like this. See, so the squeezing is out, is making that animation, and after it's done, we only have to do after it's done, we'll squeeze out that white circle. This one, scale, and we'll scale it down also. Let's use that curve again also. Let's select only these 2 points and work only with the selection. And we'll do the same thing. So it will squeeze like up and squeeze like this. Okay. And even here in the beginning, I'm going to give us a little more squeeze also. You see that it's squeezing a little more. That little jump. Okay, so our animation is done. Everything is final. We finished. Second step, third step, fourth, fifth. Then it stays a little bit, squeezes out, squeezes out. Alright, that's it. It took forever, I know. Some animations take longer. Sometimes you need to make animations faster or make this faster, but this is like a 2-hour work for animating like a cooler PowerPoint or some information just to share with people so that they can read by steps and read each part of the animation correctly. So you emphasize that. You could even like animate and bring it closer to the screen. Actually, we had just, let me just show you the last thing that it was. Remember that we put this composition inside a bigger one with the rasterize. Okay, so the quality now is bigger. I have to like play all this way through, but you can see all the titles and everything. Let me check if this is full quality. Okay, so we have our full quality over there with the text and everything. If you see here, this one is not rasterized. Why? Because remember that we made a pre-composition. You have to also rasterize that, or else it won't work. Okay, so here you can see again, now it's fine. Okay, so remember that if you have compositions inside of compositions, you can check that by opening up the flow chart. Okay, you have your flow chart here. You can see you have other compositions inside. If you press the flow chart, you have more compositions inside, and go there and check for the rasterize if it's on or not. Okay, so we're all done. Hope you enjoyed. We're all done with the animation. Hope you enjoyed this one. And this one took a little longer. Had some people intervening. Well, you know how delivery stuff is. We had some packaging coming on, but we're all done with the animation. I'll share this animation. This video will be available. Don't forget to leave a like, thumbs up, subscribe, which channel you're watching, whether it's Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and Behance. And I'll see you in the next.